Our first speaker, who is Mr. James Olokesusi, if I'm correct, is an entrepreneurship facilitator who is very, very good, renowned. Mr. James Olokesusi is a seasoned pastor, strategist, and entrepreneur with over 15 years of pastoral experience. He is passionate about leadership, development, business growth, and spiritual empowerment. Beyond the pulpit, James serves on the board of several companies, including Polybricks Nigeria Limited, where he brings strategic insights to corporate governance. He is also the co-founder of Oakland Heaven Consulting and Real Estate, a firm focused on property development, investment solutions, and client-focused consulting. Known for merging faith, strategy, and enterprise, James empowers individuals through teaching, writing, and business training programs. His approach integrates spiritual depth with practical workshop for thriving in today's dynamic world. Please permit me to invite the first speaker, Mr. James Olokesusi.
Thank you. You are all welcome here, all the speakers and the organizers and all the speakers, and to every one here to be imparted. So I'm so grateful that our spirit is so united that we continue to impart lives. As we continue to make it a mandatory thing to continue to impart life, and that's what God wants us to do. That's our major purpose, to keep changing the earth. So today, quickly in my time, I want to talk about understanding the mechanics of your business. A lot of times, a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand the components that consist or combine their business. They just run business like a trader. They don't really understand the full caption of what really the components upon which their business is sitting. So today I want to really break it down very fast and make them to understand that you don't build a business to run, you build a business that runs. So we have to build a business that can run itself, and that's the future goal. That's the future goal. The fact that we are not working in a business, but we are allowing the business to run itself. So that should be the mindset. And one of the quotes I put here myself is that when you understand the gears of your business, you can accelerate without grinding the engine. So I'm going to be likening these components with a car. Because first of all, let me tell what is the meaning of the mechanics of your business. The mechanics of a business has to do with the combined components that determine the profitability of your business. There are components in every business. Every business has a component that really engender your profitability. So we are going to break each of the components so that we can understand, because once one part is missing, it can affect the whole scale of the business. Now, let's look at a car engine. If we talk about a car, and in those days, Peugeot car has about the engine has about components of 3,000 components that made up of the engine. Now, the new model car now has about 1,000 to 1,500 components that make up of the engine. Talk about the pistons, talk about the gear, the timing belts, and lots of that. But the fascinating thing is that even the electric cars, they don't have so much of such components. They have just about 100 to 150 components, and that's so each of these things, when you understand the components of your car, for example, the way your car works, you can easily tell when something is wrong with the car. You can tell this is what is going on, and this is how to fix it, and lots of that. That's where it must be to your business. Your business must be likened to your car. You must understand this is what is it, this is what it is. In a short time, you are meeting with an investor. You can tell every mechanics of the business. You can tell how it's going to run. You are meeting with the bank for a loan. You can tell every back and forth, every mechanics of the business and how the finances run. And so that's the way you are mastering your business. So that's what we are going to look at today, because the mechanism, the engine that makes a business to really yield profit is about you mastering that business. Because when you don't understand the mechanism of your business, or what makes your business to run, the company that makes your business to run, you will not be able to track. You're also going to be marketing without tracking conversation. You're going to be employing staff without measuring productivity, and a whole lot of that. Because when you understand the mechanism of the business, you'll be able to make it predictable, scalable, and as well profitable. So now let's really go to the next slide, so we can look at the first thing. I'm going to give you. We're going to take an example we're going to take a business like an example for a bakery. But basically I will show each of this phase. But we're going to look at a bakery. Now, how does it run? What are the components that make up of a bakery? But the first one is that, okay, the slide. The first one, okay. Now, let's say the first one, the business engine. What's the business engine? That's the core operation. Next slide. The core operation of the business. That's the first thing we must look at. The question we're asking is that, what are we doing in our company, in our business? What problem are we solving? Have we defined our problem, the problem we are out to solve? Somebody was saying something one day. Somebody called him to come to an office to come and bless the office. To come and bless the office and lots of that. And after blessing the office, he asked the guy, "What are you doing in this office?" He said, "We are still thinking about it." So a lot of times, a lot of business owners are just fascinated about big office, big atmosphere, without understanding the essence, the very essence why they are in business. So the first thing we have to look at is that what problem are you out to solve? What's your value proposition? What's your value proposition? What problem are you solving? And who are your customers? You have to understand, who are your customers? Like a bakery, like I said now, to a bakery now is how to solve the problem of hunger, and they are making bread, cakes, and lots of that. They are baking bread. So that's what they are out to do. So you have to understand who are your customer, because you have to differentiate between your consumer and your customer. Because a baby diaper is bought by the mother, but used by the child. So we have to understand that. That was what really helped Cadillac in those days. Cadillac used to produce a car, and at a point in time there was a change in management, and they saw that they were trying to define the whole of the business, and the new management we need to look at, what are we even selling? Because sometimes you have to differentiate between your business and your competitor. If you are not careful, you will think you are doing the same thing. You are not doing the same thing. You will be doing the same business, but you are not really meeting the same customer. Cadillac discovered that they were not out to solve mobility alone. They were selling class as well. And that was why they were comfortable to increase the price without any, because they knew that they were not just solving problem of mobility. They were solving problem of reliability and class. Just like we talk about Lamborghini, we talk about Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce will sell for about 1.5 billion, and yet people will buy it. Why? Because it's not just about movement. It's not just about transportation. They are selling class. So these are the things you must, in this first component called the core operation. What are you solving? What problem are you solving? What are you out to do? Number two. Second slide. So let's go on. So the second mechanism you must track is that they track the revenue mechanics. How money actually flows. Sometimes most of us as a businessman, the only thing that comes to our mind is how money flows. The only mechanism we want to think about, we want to talk about, the only conversation we are interested in is how the money flows. But that should not. But still, we have to really understand the depth of how the money flows. Like I said, revenue is not magic; it's engineered. You have to understand what are your revenue streams. How do you make your money? In your business, how do you make your money? You must be able to track how you make your money. Are you making money through direct sales, through subscription, like Netflix? They make their money through subscription and lots of that. Is it through licensing? Is it through commissions? Like retailers now, a lot of retailers, they make their money through commission, 5%, 7%, 10%. That's where they make their money. And is it through rentals? Some might be renting out, leasing, renting, and is it consulting fees? You must understand. You must be able to track, how do we make our money? Is it through direct sales? Are we selling something here? What are we doing? You have to be able to track, that route. And also, what about your pricing models? informs your pricing model. How do you get to understand this? This what informs our pricing model. Sometimes you just look at. Sometimes we entrepreneurs are very funny. Sometimes we just sit down and begin to write some price down. This amount I want to sell. On what basis are you charging that amount? You must understand the basis through by which you are charging that amount. The first thing we can look at is a value-based pricing. I bought this at this amount, I'm selling at this amount. This is a value I place on it. You can do that. Another one is that cost plus pricing. This is secret of Walmart. Cost plus pricing. They buy at a cost, at a reduced cost, and they sell at a cheaper rate. And that's why Walmart is more than about 30,000 all over the world, because they sell cheap things, and not that they are cheap per se, but they make sure it's affordable. Whatever they are selling, they make sure it's affordable. That's why people will troop in and lax that. And that's what we are seeing with all the bread here and there, Boko bread, Jendo and lax that. They are trying to make sure that they reduce the cost, so that people can sell. So cost plus pricing. That's going to be the strength of most kind of supermarkets and lax of that. So cost plus pricing. What about penetration pricing? That sometimes you are just new in the business, you might need to understand the penetration pricing. There are many things they were selling last year now, as 2 years ago, for just a chicken feed. Everybody were rushing it, but now the price has gone up. So are you going in with the penetration pricing? You must understand this whole thing. So another one is premium pricing. You can decide to do your mentorship for a 100,000, 1 million, 10 million. Premium price. This one, you are putting a premium after you have before you can put a premium on your product. That means it has been tested, confirmed. It can solve the problem at any point in time. You can decide to say, I'm charging a school fees of 150,000. If you like it, come bring your child or no. So it's a premium pricing. So these are things I inform how we charge our product. These are all about cash conversation cycle. So how long, we must understand as well, how does our cash flow run? Your cash flow, are you a contractor now, has to get contracts sometimes once in a month, twice in a month? That's where he has to track his cash flow. He knows that our business comes in once in a month, twice in a month, so they can manage every money that comes in. But before we get the next one, it might be the next 2 months. So whatever is on ground, they have to manage it to take care of all the running of the business. And those who are doing direct selling like Jumia are having, you pay at a point. The moment they give you the product, you transfer to POS straight away or to your ATM. So they